Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Marissa and this is Kiss Kiss It's Miss. Today we are going to be discussing the 3 different levels of brush users. One is for your beginners. You have no idea what you're doing, you just want to get started, but you don't know where to go. Number 2 is for our avid brush users. So these are for people that maybe already use brushes and maybe want to step up their game a little and do a little something extra. And then we have number 3, the level is an expert. So maybe something to give you a little more precise look, something to give you really, executed and something to step up your game. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first we have our beginner brushes. So these right here are brushes that I can do my entire face in. You can do everything with these and it's really easy. So my very favorite brush is right here. This is my foundation brush. It is a Morphe brush. A Morphe brush, let's see what's the number, M439. You can see right here, this brush is really great because it just really buffs in your face makeup. You can use it for all of your foundations, whether it's powder, liquid, anything. You can use it for whatever you want. Pressed powder, anything. This is just really, really great. It gives you a really airbrush flawless finish, and I love it. This is like the holy grail, number 1. Like if I could give you a favorite brush, this might even just be it. All right, then we have your beauty blender. So this is just a beauty sponge. Beauty blender is a brand, but this happens to be a Sephora brand, and I normally like to use a Morphe brand, but I just don't have one right now, and I prefer one with a pointed tip because you can really get in here and pat underneath your eye, pat underneath your lines, and get everywhere that you need to. So this is for when you are blending your concealer underneath here, when you are wanting to blend out your entire face, you just run it underneath the water because you want to use it damp. 15 squeezes, make sure it's nice and fluffy. And then whenever I'm running it underneath, you just pat, 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 pat. And then it is just great because it's going to give you that really nice airbrush flawless finish and really blend out anything that's extra right along here. Another great tip how I use it is I take my loose translucent powder or my pressed powder, whatever setting powder I'm going to be using, and I dip this into the powder and I run it underneath here, and game changer. That's for another day though, and I'll show you all how to use it, but it's a great tip. Then we have another brush right here. This one is a Morphe R2. It is amazing for any kind of powder, and I personally love using this for bronzer. It's really nice and fluffy and tapered. It just really blends everything smoothly on my cheekbones, or my cheekbones in here where the hollows of my cheeks, right above like I would put blush and everything. It's not necessarily a contour brush, but just here I like to get a really great bronze, just anywhere where the sun would hit you. And then in a pinch, I just run it down my nose also, so that way it just gets a little bit of sun everywhere essentially. So this great brush is amazing. I use it for bronzer, you can use it for all of your powders. Then for your blush brush, this is the Morphe brush right here. It is the M405. As you can see, it's an angled brush right here. It's nice and long and fluffy as well. And the angled brush I find for my blush to be really nice because it gives you a blended look. It really applies the powder really evenly, and I just think this is great. Then we have my highlighter brush. So this brush right here is the Morphe 510. It is something that it is once again a long-haired brush. It is a little tapered. You can see it's rounded, and it is great because it just pops all of my highlighter on. It is super, super soft, and I just think this is fabulous. So these are for your face, and then we have 2 more for your eyes. So for my eyeshadow, you can do any look with just these 2 brushes. They're fluffy, they're soft, they're blendable, and one is a little longer right here and one is a little shorter. So the longer one is called the Morphe M573. See, can you see that? There we go. You use this for blending all over your eyelid, your whole entire eyeshadow. You just want to really buff anything out. I use this brush. Now the next one, the more compact, shorter version, is the M433. Once again, a Morphe brush. And it is really nice because I use this to really get in my crease. I blend it out and with all my motions that I use, but it is really nice to blend underneath your eye, do this. So I can do my whole entire eye every day quickly with these two brushes right here. And there you go, that's your beginner set right here. You can do your entire face, like I said, with these, and I normally like to run everything when I'm doing my everyday look, like you can see in my previous video with all those brushes. Next we have for our Avid users. So if you already know what you're doing, but you want to step it up and do a little extra, I'll show you what I use. So right here is the Sephora Pro 7.5 brush. I use this for contouring down my nose. I use this for contouring underneath my chin. I also like to run my contour right here, and anywhere that I would run contour, I would use this brush. I also like to use it for dusting off any of my translucent powder that I have set when I am baking, which we'll discuss another day also. So it's just kind of like a great little short-haired, really nice and compact, so it's not gonna flip your product everywhere. Then we have something for when you're cleaning up your eyeshadow or when you are doing your eyeshadow. Beforehand, I like to stamp this in my translucent powder and stamp out my lines when I want a really precise look. I normally don't use this every day because it's not something that I'm not normally trying to have a really sharp angle or anything like that when I do my eyeshadow for everyday look. But when I am, you know, really wanting to make sure it's like a dark shadow and it's very dramatic and I want it to be really clean, I will use this. You can even stamp this in your translucent powder and clean up your lines with this brush after you have done it. Then we have eyeshadow brushes. So these three right here are just, I like to use these very often. So this right here is the Morphe E17. Did I even say the name of this? Morphe E47, the angled brush right here. E47. Okay, then we have the Morphe E17 right here. So this is for, it's a longer haired brush. It is, once again, kind of like a dome shape, and I run this in my crease right along here. It is longer, and so it's soft, and it's gonna really, once again, blend and do all the things that I need for it to do, and it's going to just really give this fluffy, nice brush is going to really give me a nice, precise eye. Then we have a flat liner brush. This is the Morphe 432. So let's see, can you see that? This brush right here is what I will run underneath my eye, right underneath my waterline, right where my eyeshadow would be, or my eyelashes would begin. I will stamp on any powder right here because I normally don't wear eyeliner, but I want to smoke out my eye and give it a nice full smoky look. I use this brush. And then I will even actually use this E17 brush to run underneath to really, really blend, because once again, I love to blend. Blending is like my favorite thing because it's just, everything just looks so flawless and fresh when you do that. So Morphe 432 for your flat liner brush. Then we have your Morphe E36. I use this for my highlight. I do my inner corner highlight right here and on top of my brow bone. It's just really, really precise. It's short, compact, and it really gets the job done. Then I have eyebrows. So you should all be taming your eyebrows, whether you're grooming them with wax, plucking, anything. And when you are and you're shaping them, I love to use this spoolie right here. So this is actually on the end of my Anastasia definer for my brows. But it's just great to tame and brush and really comb and keep them kept. And then this brush right here actually came in my Sephora, I had like a Sephora brush set that I got for like the holidays one year, and this comb side I use it to brush through my eyelashes, and then I will even use this to the other comb part, it's a little thicker, to run it through my eyebrows as well. And then for our last piece for eyes, this right here is my eyelash curler. It's by Tweezerman. I think it's great because it has a really great hold, and my lashes are very straight, so I always need them to be curled, and that really helps. And then for another kind of beauty blender, this is actually the Beauty Blender brand. It is a smaller version, and it is a nice teardrop shape. It's very soft. I use this when I'm really precise underneath. Maybe if I made a mistake and I want to clean it up, it's really small, so it's easy to get underneath your eye and take care of anything like that. Now, our last but not least step are for all of you expert people. already know everything that I have. You probably have everything that I just talked about, and now you might want to be interested in a little more. So this fan brush right here is what I use for my body glow. This is the Sephora Pro 6.5. I love a soft fan brush because you can really use the angle to get anywhere that you need to give your body that extra glow that you want. I love this. It applies everything very evenly and it's very soft. Then I have eyeshadow. So this brush right here I use for my crease. It is the Morphe M330. It is a really long soft hair brush, so when I am applying a deep color in my crease, it is amazing to blend. Because it's longer and softer, it is going to blend my product with whatever I have on my other colors on my eye. So it'll really give it a great blown out effect. Then I have this smudger brush. This is the Morphe 408. So this brush I use to run it along all around my eye. Underneath, it's short and compact, so it will not flip product once again all over your face. It really runs things tightly, and you're probably like, what's the difference between this and the flat definer? So the flat definer is really, really thin. It is honestly just for stamping the product into where you want it. This is going to blend it out more precisely, and especially when you're layering colors and layering all of your product, you don't want it, you want to be really precise with what you're doing. So this right here, it's thicker. It's going to blend everything but closely together. Then I have this Morphe 124 brush. This is a flat brush. So this one is a little longer. It is very, very thin, and I use this to apply when I want to pack on my powder or my pigment onto my eyes. So I typically use this when it is damp. I like to spray it with some sort of setting spray, apply it until perhaps a glitter or something if you want to use concealer to create a cut crease, or if you want to give your eye some dimension and add another kind of pigment. I like to stack it on top and press the powder and pigment on top of my eye, and it is great because it is a thin brush that will apply the product without creating fallout. So those are all of the 3 levels that I have for you guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. If you have any questions, make sure you are commenting below, direct message me, and make sure you're following my other social media accounts, Kiss Kiss It's Miss, so that way you can catch more that I am posting there as well. So thank y'all so much, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.